Now that we've removed all of the pads, we're going to proceed with the rear-facing installation. First, we're going to pull out the calf support. Nuna wants it used with the bigger kids, so might as well start it out from the beginning. Lay the seat down and pull firmly here. So that's out. Now we're going to recline the seat. If your baby cannot sit upright unsupported, you are going to want to use recline position 1 and only 1. That's the most reclined. If your baby can sit upright unsupported, choose either 1 to 5, 5 being the most upright that's allowed for rear facing. So on the side of the seat, there's a gray button that says press and recline, and you're going to look for the numbers in the blue rear facing section. So I'm going to push, then I'm going to slide it in. I'm going to put it into 1 for this video. The same technique will apply to the installation if you choose 2, 3, 4, or 5. Make sure it is not in a red zone for rear facing. Note also that you cannot change the recline angle after the seat is installed. It must be set before you install it. Now I'm going to take the cup holder and I'm going to lift up on both sides. This reveals the rear facing belt path. And do the same on the other side. Now, you're going to want to make sure the child's harness straps are all the way loose so that you can keep them out of the way. Push the gray button down at the bottom, pull the shoulders away from where the child's body would be, and tuck the silver tongues into their little pockets on either side. Now, lift this cover up and tuck it out of the way. Unsnap the cover here, and pull it out of the way. You're going to want to open the blue true tension door. That's the rear facing one. Squeeze the blue button and it lifts up. Now take your seatbelt, pass it through the rear facing belt path, out the other side, and buckle the seatbelt. Because the true tension door is not a seatbelt locking device, we need to use the seatbelt's own built-in locking device. Almost all seatbelts in the United States since 1996 have this locking mechanism, whereby if you pull very slowly, emphasis on the slowly, out on the shoulder belt until you get to the very end, and then let it back in a little bit. Hear that ratcheting? That's a dead giveaway that you're in the right locking mode, where the belt will only let itself get shorter. It will not let you make it longer. Sometimes the belt ratchets really softly, or you're somewhere noisy and it's hard to hear it. So another way to double check you're in the correct locking mode is by letting a little bit of the belt in, then giving a gentle pull towards you. If there's no slack coming towards you, then it's in the correct locking mode. If you do have slack, then the belt is not locked. Try locking it again, and if it's still not locked, read your vehicle owner's manual, as you may not have the proper locking mode that this car seat needs. So I'm going to let my belt all the way back in. Then I'm going to make sure my headrest, which could have been above the shell of the seat, I'm going to make sure to lower it because I'm going to be putting pressure on the top of the seat, and I don't want to put pressure on the headrest. I'm going to take hold of the shoulder belt, that's the top belt, and I'm going to hold it on the side closest to the seatbelt buckle, which is over here in this instance. I'm going to pull the shoulder belt towards me. I'm going to sway the seat side to side. I'm going to hold all the tension firmly in the hand that's closer to the seatbelt buckle, and I'm going to take my free hand and pull forcefully upwards to feed all of the slack to where the shoulder belt comes out of. Think of like feeding a mouth. So I'm transferring the slack between my two hands. If you think you lost some, then pull and wiggle again. And then I'm going to take both of my hands and I'm going to push down on the true tension door until it locks. Here's an alternate method of tightening the rear-facing Rava if you didn't want to put your stomach at the top of the seat. It's usually easiest to be on the side opposite to the seatbelt buckle. This side is where the seatbelt buckle is. Kneel on the cushion, you have a little better leverage. you're going to put, in this case, it's going to be my right hand down into the seat cushion area where the child's bottom would be. My true tensioning door is open. In my left hand, I'm going to take just the top belt, that's the shoulder belt. I'm going to use my body to wiggle the seat side to side. Or another way I could do it is to pull with my left hand and use my right hand to shift the seat side to side here. Then I'm going to hold the tension and transfer all the slack up to here. That's where the seatbelt locks. Again, pull, wiggle, transfer my slack, and then I would lower the true tensioning door until it locks. And then I would check that its seat is tight. Typically, you're going to check a car seat by holding at the rear-facing belt path and pulling towards you and away from you. It should move less than an inch. We've noticed that because this car seat is not only very heavy, but also due to the way that the belt is clamped in the true tension door, that if there's a lot of slack trapped on the other side, like over here, if you check in the usual way, side to side, front to back, and up and down, you still might not notice that the belt is very, very loose. So here's a way to check that we found will not let you get fooled. You're going to hold this car seat towards the forward-facing belt path. So if you see that, I'm going to hold it on my side, and I'm going to try to wiggle the car seat like a fishtail. This car seat is very tight. If it did wiggle a lot at the top, then it's loose, and then I would come back and do the same thing. I would open up my true tension door. I would take the shoulder belt, that's the top belt, wiggle, pull, transfer my slack, and then lock the true tension door again. And then I would check again. And I would repeat that until it was tight. Now that my seat is tight, I'm going to put it back together. I'm going to put my crotch buckle through the correct slot. So I have the crotch buckle in the inner position right now through the shell, and I'm going to use the inner position on the cover. I'm going to snap it back in. And once I seated the child in the seat, I would then readjust the headrest so that it's set so that the shoulder straps are coming from at or slightly below the child's shoulders for rear facing. And again, you adjust the headrest by squeezing the button at the top of the headrest and moving it up or down. Now you're good to go. Have a great trip.